Welcome to this explainer. Okay, go ahead and grab your virtual magnifying glass and maybe a trench coat because today we're turning you into a digital detective. Our mission? To totally demystify the fast-paced world of information technology. We're going to uncover how the internet actually moves data around, how you can ruthlessly evaluate the stuff you find online, and how to operate responsibly out there in the digital field. So let's just dive right in with a question that, seems pretty simple at first glance, but is actually the absolute core of what we're doing today. If it's on the internet, is it true? I mean, we all know the knee-jerk answer is, well, obviously no. But as digital detectives, just knowing that isn't really enough. Your job today is to learn the exact skills and frameworks you need to uncover the actual truth behind online information. Basically, we're going to learn how to separate fact from fiction in this massive sea of data. Here's our Detective Academy training schedule for today. 1. Network connections. 2. Source checklist. 3. Field investigation. 4. Digital citizenship. And finally, 5. Misconceptions and exit. So let's get right to it. Part 1. Connecting to the network. Think about passing a physical note to a friend across the classroom. It goes from your hand to maybe a classmate sitting in the middle row, and then finally it gets to your friend, right? Well, that is a basic network. And digital communication actually works the exact same way. When you send a message or, say, search for a website, you aren't passing a piece of paper. Instead, your device is breaking your request down into these tiny little chunks of data called packets. These packets get routed through massive digital networks, literally jumping from computers to routers to underground cables until they finally reach their destination. It's the exact same concept as passing a note, it's just happening millions of times faster and is infinitely more complex. So what does this actually look like in everyday life? Well, here is the journey of your clue. Step 1. You enter a search query on your phone or your laptop. Basically, you're asking the internet a question. Step 2, that request doesn't just, magically find an answer floating in thin air. It physically travels through the network we just talked about, all the way to a super powerful computer called a server. And then, step 3, that server locates the information you asked for, chops it up into data packets, and sends it hurtling back through the network to reassemble right there on your screen. And this all happens in fractions of a second. Understanding that data is physically stored somewhere and travels across real networks, that is the absolute foundation of information technology. Part 2. Source Evaluation Checklist. Okay, so the information arrived on your screen. But here's the thing. Not all servers and definitely not all websites are created equal. Any digital detective worth their salt relies on this investigator's checklist. First up, check the author. Like, who actually wrote this? Are they an expert or just some random person sharing an unverified opinion? Second, verify the date. Information changes so fast. A perfectly accurate article about smartphone tech from 2012? Yeah, that's basically useless to you today. Third, analyze the domain. A website ending in .edu or .gov generally has much stricter publishing standards than, say, a random .com somebody just threw together in their basement. And finally, cross-reference. This is huge. If a website makes a wild claim, just open a new tab. Are trusted major news organizations or academic institutions reporting the exact same thing? If not, you very likely found a fake. Part 3. Solving a real scenario. Let's test this out. Imagine our suspect is a website claiming that eating a newly discovered purple berry will cure the common cold in exactly 1 hour. Okay, let's run this through our checklist. Author? Well, it turns out the author isn't a doctor at all. They actually own a company that sells these exact berries. Talk about a major conflict of interest, right? Domain? We find out it's just a personal blog, not a legitimate medical or university site. And finally, we cross-reference, and absolutely zero reputable health organizations are confirming this claim. By systematically applying our steps, the website's claim completely falls apart under scrutiny. See what just happened? You are no longer just a passive consumer of information. You are actively interrogating it. Part 4. Applying digital citizenship. Now, being a good detective isn't just about spotting lies. It's also about how you actually conduct yourself while you're out there on the network. This is where digital citizenship comes in. It means using technology safely, respectfully, and responsibly to protect privacy and collaborate effectively online. You really have to understand that your actions have real-world consequences. This covers everything from how you organize your files to how you manage your account securely, and most importantly, how you interact with other people. If you are communicating on a network, you are leaving a footprint. A true digital citizen ensures that their footprint is a positive one, protecting not just their own safety and privacy, but the safety of literally everyone else they connect with. Remember this quote: "Respectful online collaboration is the foundation of a safe digital world." Why does this actually matter? Because the internet isn't just some dusty library of servers where we go to blindly pull down information. It's an incredibly active, shared communication space. Whether you're working on a shared document for a school project or chatting in a global forum, your ability to collaborate respectfully determines the actual health of that network. If we lose respect, we lose safety, and the whole network starts to break down. Part 5. Misconceptions and the exit question.
Okay, before you head out into the field, we really need to clear up a major trap that catches a lot of people. The myth is that incognito or private browsing mode makes you totally invisible online. It's incredibly common to think that opening that dark-themed window just completely hides everything you do. But here's the actual fact. Your internet service provider and local networks can still see your traffic. Incognito mode only stops your specific device, your phone or your laptop, from saving your search history locally. Remember our chat earlier about how information physically travels? Your data packets are still being routed through your school's network or your home internet provider to get to the server. And those systems can absolutely still see where you're going. True digital citizens understand the basics of privacy and security, and they know that total invisibility on the internet is, well, basically a myth.
So, this brings us to your final assignment. As a newly trained digital detective, how will your online behavior change the next time you search for information? Will you actually pause before you click share on some wild, unbelievable headline? Will you double-check the domain name of a website before using it in a homework assignment? Will you treat your own digital footprint with the respect it deserves? Look, the internet is this massive, absolutely incredible tool, but it requires a sharp, critical mind to use it properly. Think about it, start applying your new skills, and good luck out there, detectives. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning everything.